Warning, spoilers.
Hey everyone, how's it going? Since it's New Year's Eve, I decided to review a
The story
comic about the
begins with a
future.
three-parter, The
So,
Heart of
here's Batman
Matter,
Beyond
where a
Industrial
man named
Revolution.
Mr. Jat is finding out that he is dying. You see, he handled supervillain weaponry at a prison, and with the long exposure to the radiation, alien substances, and who knows what, it's finally taking a toll on his body. He's very pissed off about this, but the main thing that he is really pissed off about is superheroes. He blames superheroes for him dying, and he wants some payback. And the first thing he does is that he actually goes and grabs the Weather Wizard's wand. I think it's Weather Wizard's. I could be wrong, but he takes like one of the supervillains' wands, uh, and he does something which causes his arm to glow green and actually obtain the power to alter matter. It's kind of like Firestorm, except he like doesn't have full control over it, and he thinks that sweet, I got frickin' payback now. And while that's happening, we see Terry McGinnis with his girlfriend Dana, and calling his mom because her his brother is getting a fitting, and they're joking around. We get some really nice moments with the family, um, stuff that we usually saw on the show whenever Terry was interacting with his mom and brother. Uh, but that's interrupted when uh, Mr. Jat shows up at the mall after being chased by one of the members of the Justice League, Warhawk, and plans to take the place hostage. And he goes by the name of Mattermaster. And then somehow actually obtains a costume. I don't know how he does. I think he says that he manipulated matter and made his own costume. But no, I'm not very sure on that. But yeah, he has like a costume now, and he goes by the name of Mattermaster. And Terry shows up as Batman. Trying to find a way to save him, while also dealing with the Justice League that has a plan, but Terry doesn't really agree to that. Um, and so mostly in the story, we have Terry trying to, you know, deal with the Justice League and think of a plan to save them without harming anyone. Now, the first story is pretty good. I think the interaction with Terry and the Justice League is actually pretty good, especially when the stuff with Warhawk. The artwork is a little bit weird though. Aqua Girl's head looks a little bit too round. In fact, she kind of looks like an alien. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but Aqua Girl looks like an alien in there. Um, like freaking even the Green Lantern in there doesn't look is not that round. Um, and he I think is about like a little kid. I don't remember how old they said this Green Lantern is. But yeah, like how Terry works with the Justice League is pretty interesting, and there's a really cool fight scene where Terry is actually going toe to toe with every member, uh, which I thought was pretty damn awesome. It was like actually one of my favorite parts of the story, um, even though I kind of felt like it was a little bit also unnecessary. Mattermaster as a villain, it was like it was alright. Like I can see that they were trying to make me sympathize with the guy, because like you can kind of tell this guy was clearly not well. Like whatever was wrong with him was kind of already reaching his brain, and like he was starting to go a little bit insane. Um, but as a villain, I kind of felt like he was a freaking big hypocrite there. And the whole thing in the end, where like he said, where Terry says, with all that power, all you thought was violence, and he's like, "Oh, look who's talking." I just couldn't like, I really couldn't, buy that. I call bullshit on it actually. Like maybe if like we had more time with him, like maybe I could have bought it, but for me it didn't work. The next story is a Legend of the Dark Knight story where we actually see Terry's good old pal Max, who's kind of like the oracle of the group, and no, she finds out that apparently Nightwing's identity has been exposed. Someone has found out that Dick Grayson is Nightwing, and Terry is trying to, prove to people that he's not Nightwing by pretending to be Nightwing and wearing old man makeup. and it works for a while, but by the end of it, it ends up failing because Dick Grayson reveals that he is Nightwing. He doesn't like say that Bruce Wayne was Batman. He just says, "Oh, Batman trained me," which I guess would kind of make sense because they actually bring Batman Incorporated into the story, which makes me kind of wonder what universe this takes place in. Was it supposed to take place in the main DC Earth before the reboot? Like, or was this really back in the DC anime universe? Like, it's very confusing sometimes with this Batman Beyond series. But yeah, the story is very good. It doesn't really focus on Max until the very end, though, which kind of foreshadows another thing that's going to be coming into play. I think I don't really know. It involves a character called Undercloud who actually tries to make a proposition with Max. A proposition. I said proposition. But yeah, like, it's actually been a while since I've read some Batman Beyond comics, so I don't know if the whole Undercloud thing came into play. So, um, if anyone knows about that, please tell me. But I actually was kind of curious about that story coming up later. Then we have the main title, Industrial Revelation, where we see Blight again. Um, and, once again, he has a big plan to take down Batman and rule the city. Um, we find out what happened to Blight last time we saw him in the series. Apparently, um, after he got crushed by a boat underwater, he got out, but he was severely injured, and one of the scientists that he knew found him and actually got him in this new suit, which to me just looks kind of goofy. In fact, in general, looks just really goofy. I guess they wanted to do it because he looked a little bit too much like Doctor Phosphorus, um, and they just really didn't want to have like people compare the two because they really did look a lot alike. Like I mean, Phosphorus, like he would always like he was a guy who was glowing and had like radioactive had a radioactive from his powers, and he also looked like a skeleton when he glue. So yeah, I guess I can understand why they didn't want to make him look like Phosphorus anymore. But yeah, Blight just looks so silly to me. I was wanna like I felt like snickering the first time I saw him in that outfit. Um, we also get like a sub story with Dana breaking up with Terry and actually seeing her brother who was sent to prison, and her kind of worried that her brother might go back to his old ways, which I thought was pretty good. The brother kind of was a little bit suspicious though. I once again didn't read the I haven't read the comics for a while, so I don't know if the storyline with her brother actually led to anything. But still, like in here, I really enjoyed the whole relationship. Then finally we have a storyline with Ink. Um, and basically, in this story, we just learn her backstory, and we learn what led her to become the person that she is now. And I gotta say, it's pretty good. And I really was kind of surprised of who appears in the end of this, which kind of makes me think that okay, yeah, this is most likely a different universe because the person that appears in here is Doctor Thwain, who, as we all know, well, a lot of Flash fans will know, is the first Reverse Flash. And last time we saw him, he had a sword in his chest. Well, in his back that popped out of his chest, but you know what I mean. He was dead. Um, and it looks like his back was messed up. He has like a back brace now. So it kind of shows that yeah, this is probably a different Doctor Swain, or maybe this is like his ancestor, and like you know this isn't Ebon Swain. Seriously, the future has effed up names. Seriously, like man, Reverse Flash's name is really unpronounceable. I just call him Professor Zoom. I'm just gonna say Professor Zoom's possible, um, you know, ancestor, or maybe it's him. Professor Zoom himself. Either way, I'm really interested to see what was going to go on with that, and I really am disappointed I have not been able to check out the latest Batman Beyond stories. Um, but as for this, whole, comic in general, The trade is very good. The artwork, as I said before, it's kind of like a roller coaster. Like the artwork in the Mattermaster story was pretty iffy to me. Some characters looked a little bit too weird. Um, the story though, in the story involving Max, I thought was very good. The artwork looked great there. Same thing goes with the artwork involving Ink. Uh, as for the writing's very good. It really feels like I'm reading a comic version of the show. How the characters interact is very good. Like if you're a fan of the Batman Beyond series, you're probably gonna like this story.
That's all I gotta say. Goodbye.